Welcome to 8 Things with Liz Moose here. With the recent release of Thor Ragnarok, here's 8 things I bet you didn't know about Thor. And no worries, no spoilers have been included in respect for our audience. Tom Hiddleston, who ended up being Loki in the Thor movies, originally auditioned in the casting for Thor. He was overshadowed by Chris Hemsworth for Thor, but Marvel liked him so much that they wanted to put him as his brother Loki. Since then, he's become a huge face in the cast of Marvel actors and has even written into the script for the second Thor movie, which he was originally absent for. Apparently, in Norse mythology, Thor has 2 goats, Tooth and Asher and Tooth Grinder. They're able to fly and pull him along in a chariot. They're pretty cool if you really think about it. It's like unicorns except they're goats, which is way better. Thor was actually turned into a frog by his trickster brother Loki. While his serious side is shown more in the movies, in the comics, Loki has time for more pranks. As a frog, Thor did keep some of his powers, but once again, he was a literal frog. The story of the comic was apparently about a war between rats and frogs. Of course, Thor did turn back into his usual self once he found his trusty hammer. The first time Thor appeared was back in 1962, created by the legendary Stan Lee. His debut was in the comic Journey into Mystery in number 83. This comic is actually quite valued by collectors and ranges from prices of $2,500 to $4,500 on eBay. Asgardians actually aren't born immortal. Instead, they eat golden apples of Idun, which only grow in Asgard and allows them to live as long as they do. This phenomenon is from the Norse mythology and explains why they all seem to be immortal. I guess you could say that an apple a day keeps death away. Thor actually cannot fly, which at first would seem quite surprising. Instead, he uses Mjolnir, his hammer, to propel him through the air and get him from place to place. He's shown to hold out Mjolnir every time he, seemingly, flies. Speaking of Mjolnir, it actually wasn't the first weapon that Thor used. At first he used Jarmbjorn, which is a giant axe that had the power to cut through anything and everything. He used this axe throughout the 9th, 10th, and 11th century, but later lost it after a battle with the Apocalypse. After he loses Mjolnir, he actually switches back to Jarmbjorn. While many may know that Stan Lee appears as a truck driver in the first Thor movie, did you know that a prominent writer of the comics, J. Michael Straczynski, also appears? He's seen trying to lift up Mjolnir from the ground and of course fails in doing so. It's pretty neat that someone responsible for bringing us Thor in the first place made a cameo in Thor's very first movie.